I felt loved. Protected in your embrace, I named you my holy place, a location in which I can confide, nothing to hide, my raw true self.
Hidden in your embrace, I tucked myself away. During moments I felt unsafe, I constantly found myself in a dark place. In this abyss, self-confidence was nonsense. Self-love was an undiscovered concept. But these notions didn't exist with you. Our hearts were interwoven, our breaths and thoughts synchronized, and you may scrutinize a love like ours.
It can be hard to see when people around you, including people like her, will only devour by disagree. I refuse to believe our love has sunken in a dead sea because I was too blinded by fantasies.
I was supposed to be 63, telling your children how our love grew like a deciduous tree, how its leaves shed annually, signifying a stage of growth. Man, I loved you like I took an oath. I should have noticed our love was so fragile. You left and it felt like a sentence to exile.
But I remember our love was filled with pigment, like red rose petals, but like vivid, but like blood, but like love. When I said I loved you, I didn't realize what we had was just a figment.
I remember our love filled warmth, the same way a sun shines on my face on a hot summer day. Why can't you just stay? I know the sun only rises to set, but don't you remember the promise I made to you? Hold galaxies within my palms for you?
I used my right hand to collect stars, with the left hand kept the others tight within my grasp. I decided I wanted the collection I built for you.
So I joined my palms together, so they could never escape no matter the measure. But once everything started to slip, the galaxies that were held for you were no longer within my grip. My hands up bruised.
That night I asked my mama what's the difference between love and abuse. I lost count of the pages, and my mind was just racing, pacing, and I'm afraid of erasing the memories because they are deeply ingrained within.
How could you have told me you owned a constellation when you didn't even have a star to your name? You left me with nothing to hold on to. But it was ironic how much love I gave to you, but not much to myself.
After a while, you would start to realize how you are not being loved and you have to just walk away.
But how do you know you aren't being loved when you're too blinded by it?
How do you know you aren't being loved when the only time you feel healthy is being in bed with the sickness?
But how do you know you aren't being loved when the only time you feel free is when you have 500 pounds of garbage on your shoulders?
The entire time I was with you, I couldn't see anything.
They told me to cover your eyes so reality doesn't hit you like a truck. They even made a whole movie about it.
But how do you explain to them when the person you loved dragged an aux cord out of your head, plugs it into their MP3 player, and plays their song they played your heart?
In other words, I was trapped, locked down, shackled, chained, and any other word that you kept in place. Admit it, learn from it, and never repeat it. That's what we're told to do when we make mistakes, feel heartbreaks. But they wouldn't understand. They would never understand.
Age 7, my friend went behind my back and spread lies. I lost trust. I learned my lesson.
Age 8, my self-esteem oxidized like apple flesh being left outside for too long, which was when I began to hate. Age 9, my mom died. Age 10, my dad left. Age 11, I didn't trust anyone. I went back to age 7. Age 12, I wanted to kill myself.
All I wanted was to be loved.
It's all I asked.
My kindness is a gift. There are two types of gifts, the ones you give and the ones you get. I welcomed you into my house with open arms, but what gift did you give me? Much like the gift given to a curious Pandora, you gave me a box that opened up weeks of body-paralyzing nightmares and 8 months of silence. Except you were the one who was curious, so why was I gifted with bearing the burden of this box? You led me into a drowning ship, and what made it worse was that I, not giving you a direct yes or no, followed you, not thinking anything was wrong. My maybe we should get back to the others were taken as a let's stay on this drowning ship a little longer. The water's currents rising up from within, suffocating me and pulling me down. You didn't realize, or maybe you did, but either way, it was more important for you to come on this drowning ship than to leave this drowning ship. My silence continued to encourage you, and it wasn't until you pulled my hair that I thought to myself, this is insane. I am on a drowning ship and I need help. Everyone has this image of the guy who doesn't know what no means. You're all imagining him right now. That creepy guy on the bus with his unkempt hair and baggy clothes undressing you with his eyes. That old guy walking past you on the street, slightly grazing your thighs if you will notice. That uncle who thought it was okay to fondle your breast. Why is it never boyfriend, girlfriend, family friend? That cute guy in biology. Well, this is for you cute guys in biology, and let us not forget tyrants in power, because those who allow it might as well be the ones doing it. Purity and innocence seems more like a gift granted to the lucky girls rather than a right we are given when we are born. It's not going to be a matter of if you've been assaulted, but when you've been assaulted. Our younger brothers and sisters and youth need to be educated. As I find myself on a lifeboat now, I speak for those still drowning, only to find out that anything I do is in vain because the currents of your misjudgment are dragging me back to the place where I once left that drowning ship. Thank you.
It's good to be home. At least, that's what I would have said 4 years ago. Before that stranger barged in and started living there, my home was a safe place. A place where I can be me, a place where no one can see, a place where I could be free. My home was a typical 2-story house with a backyard. But ever since that stranger came, my home became the abandoned house in the movies where monsters live. My home became a place that people go to but never return. It's a toxic place that people steer clear from, and yet, I still consider it my home. It's the only place I've known, and if I leave, where else would I go? I envy my neighbors with their perfect house, with their nothing ever goes wrong personality, with their everything is just sunshine and rainbows mentality. I tried to look for another home. But every time there's at least a slight possibility that someone might welcome me in, they shut the door in my face. They shut it so fast that it knocked me off my feet. They shut it so fast that if you blink, you'll miss it. Now I'm homeless, and I have nowhere to go. Eventually I'm forced to go back to that place that I no longer consider my home. I try to sneak in as to not draw attention to myself, but I step on an unstable floorboard and it sees me. The monster puts me in the corner so I can see the fear in my eyes, and it beats me till I scream and I cry, and it kicks me and punches me till I feel like I'm about to die. I always wonder if the neighbors can hear it. But they don't care about this abandoned house, so they just ignore it. And that thought leaves me more broken than the punches from this monster. I escaped from that house that I no longer consider my home. I walk for days wondering if I'll always be alone, then I see it. A house that could be my new home. This person welcomes me, ripped clothes, bruises and all. Why would they ever accept someone like me? Someone that's on par with a street dog. Someone with so much darkness that it seems like the light was robbed. Someone that everyone forgot. Someone who never belongs. You were an angel sent down to save me. You became my savior, a new hope, a new light that overpowers the darkness. You became my new home. You are my home. Thank you.